and he was arrested by the Roman government because they believed that he was responsible for the unrest in the city. What happened is Paul came to Jerusalem, and the apostles, among them Peter and James, they called him and they said, listen, we heard that you go in all these Asia Minor countries of the Roman Empire, and you teach the Jews not to keep the law of Moses, and this is wrong, buddy. All these people, they're zealots, they're very jealous for the law. And he says, what are you talking about? I'm a Pharisee, I keep the law. I never taught the Jews not to keep the law. I shared with the Gentiles, and I told that the Gentiles should not carry the burden that our fathers couldn't carry, and that's what I was teaching. And then the apostle says, okay, we are okay with that. If you spoke with the Gentiles, they don't have to do the circumcision and keep the ritual law. It's okay with us, but you need to prove that you are faithful to the law. Go to the temple, pay for the sacrifices, and then we will be assured. And all the public here that is very angry with you, Mr. Paul, they want to see that you still keep the law. So Paul goes to the temple. On the way, he's seized by the mob, and they accuse him of being a lawbreaker. And that's how the Roman garrison interferes. And they say, hey, Paul, we're going to find out what you did here. And the way of interrogating was, just scourging the person. But Paul says, excuse me, I have a green card. You can't do anything to me. I'm a Roman citizen.
Yeah.
I need first the law, and the Roman law was very good by the time. You need witnesses, you need people that can judge you. And Paul says, I provoke your authority. I want that the emperor will judge me. And this was a right of every Roman citizen, called the provocation. Every Roman citizen had a right to apply to the superior power, which was the emperor, if he was not sure in the local government. And the local governors were corrupt. They wanted him to give a bribe, and of course he wanted the emperor to interfere. So he was kept here in Caesarea. Many local rulers, including the last Jewish king Agrippus, interrogated him, Festus and others, and that's what they said. Paul, defending himself, he says, for if I be an offender or have committed anything worthy of death, I refuse not to die. But if there be none of these things whereof they accuse me, no man may deliver me unto them. I appeal unto Caesar. Then Festus, that was a local governor, when he had conferred with the council, answered, hast thou appealed unto Caesar? Unto Caesar shall thou go. And he went. It's only 2 hours flight from here. When I went, $100 you were in Rome. The same culture, Mediterranean things, But back then they didn't go across the sea because the boats were small. They had to go from port to port, from here to Ptolemais, from Ptolemais to Tyre, and so forth. So Paul eventually came to Rome, you know the story. But when he came, the emperor was in trouble. The emperor there was responsible for burning half of Rome in order to provide space for his new palace. And his name was?
Nero.
And he found a scapegoat.
Yep.
So as far as we know, both Paul and Peter were executed by this emperor in the years between 62 and 64 of a common era, or AD. I've been to Rome, in St. Peter's Cathedral, where it is believed to be the bones of these famous apostles that once visited Caesarea. Unbelievable.